Hey guys, it's Norm Phillips. I'm here with showing you guys how I've done in-home sales. A little bit about me. I was a top producer. I've been in sales for 25 plus years, both in my own business and working for other companies. Um, I just I'm doing this training and I'm doing this YouTube channel because I was a successful salesperson, and I was wondering why most classes don't teach what I learned and what I know. Um, so I'm going to teach you guys what I've learned over the years and hopefully help you guys. When I say I was successful, I was a top money earner in a lot of companies I worked for. Um, I more than doubled most. I tripled and quadrupled a lot of people, average people's income, and I doubled some of the top producers in my local offices. And I was one of the top money earners in the whole company. Um, and they're easy things to teach you. Um, I'm going to ask you a few questions. Um, First off, does sales training work? I ask this question because if it works so well, why do so many people fail? I've noticed you can get a group of 10 guys, and by the time you get down, guys or gals, by the time you get down to the a week later, nobody's there. I mean, they just burn through people. Um, One of the reasons why I think it's very hard to teach scripts because you can't think for yourself. And what I've learned over the years, it didn't work for me at all. And then I noticed when I went with other sales trainers or sales guys or managers or whatever, they never used a script. They used an outline. They would have a general way they would go, but they would use their head and sales experience from working with people for a while. Now, if you're a new salesperson, some scripted things are okay, but scripts you got to be careful because you don't listen to the customer, right? And that's sales is 90% listening because they're going to tell you how to sell them. Having said that, there's things I can help you with that are going to help you sell. I think a mindset and outline are way more important than a script. And I'll give you some things today, and also encourage you to check me out. I have a course that I'm doing as well. Um, if traditional, this is that's why traditional sales training doesn't work. It's because that's what they do. They really push scripts. They don't trust you as a salesperson, is what they're saying. They go through this whole process of hiring you because you're good with people, and I mean, they can't teach you how to make friends and be good with people. They can't teach you how to sell. Okay, selling is the art of asking the right questions. If you don't ask questions, you're not getting your customer involved. Um, I try to have them speak about 75% of the time. I want to speak less than they do. And I found that that's not at all what's taught. And when I tried to do it their way, I failed miserably. When I tried to do it the way they're teaching everywhere you go, from one company to the next, it's all the same. They're all in the same classes. You really can't rock the boat, or you really won't be a sales trainer because they don't trust you guys as salespeople, so they don't really let you free think. But I think you're going to have to free think. Um, I have a very different sales class, and I am going to have it opened up to a community where people can talk to each other and see how great this works. And in my sales class that I have, I'm going to guarantee your success. If you follow the rules that I have, I will guarantee you have it, or you'll get your money back. Okay? Um, I promise you, you're going to double, triple, quadruple your income. All right, guys. I'm going to give you a few questions I use and tell you why it's different, and my approach is way different than what I see. I'm always thinking when I go into a house, how am I gonna? They want to talk. I mean, nobody cares about if you can get a customer to talk about themselves, you got them to like you, right? You know this. They can talk about themselves. Same's true with the whole process. If you can ask questions that are leading questions, closing questions, open-ended questions, and just get them down the path. And because they're questions that are dealing with what you're dealing with in the home, I can't tell you what the next question would be. It would depend on their response, right? And all you can do is practice different questions and how you would get there, okay? Um, if you want something, if you're married and you want something from your wife, you're going to think of questions how you can make it something that's appealing to her and appealing to you at the same time. If she gives you a little bit of, if you really want to do something, if she tells you a little bit of a rebuttal, you'll try to figure out a way to bring it back and just talk to her about it, right? So that's what we do in sales, right? All right, I'm going to give you a couple quick things. Remember, when you're in home sales, construction sales, you're not really selling just a product. You're selling the service, you're selling the job. And in-home sales are notorious for focusing just on what you're going to bring in. If you're in the roofing, they'll talk about the shingles, they'll talk about the dripped edge and the waterproof membranes and everything else, right? If you're in kitchen remodels, you're going to talk about the cabinets or the refacing or whatever. You're going to talk about all the materials. If you're in bathroom remodeling, same thing. Talk about flooring, same thing. Everything is that way, right? So my background, guys, so you know, I was a tile guy, and I did it for a long time. And I had my own business, so I was doing the sales side of it too. But first off, when I saw salespeople coming out, they never intimidated me because they didn't know what they were talking about. Because I knew, being a tile guy, that if you spent $1,000 on just a small room's worth of materials in the floor, and you let a lot of those companies do the work, I knew their installers, and I knew they were people I wouldn't hire to even be my helper. Okay, and they would go out and do jobs. And what I would warn the customer is, if if you know that you buy this expensive stuff, you buy all this stuff, and you put it down, now you're going to have a problem because he's not going to install it correctly. It's very hard to do, and I know these people, and they are cheaper. But here's how I get there, guys. This is what I know. I don't talk about that until something comes up. But what I usually do is I come into a house and I ask them, hey, so what do you do for a living? I'll ask them what they do. Let's say they're a mechanic, okay? Say, okay, when you first started, did you make as much money as you make now? Especially if you're talking to an older guy. He's going to say, of course not. I'm going to say, okay, how did you start out? This is an open-ended question, guys. They're going to go anywhere. And if they say, oh, I worked at Jiffy Lube and I was a lube tech, and then I went up into, got my license, got certified, and now I make more money, I'd say, great. So when you take your car to get repaired, would you take it to the old you that was working at Jiffy Lube, or would you take it to the new you now? And of course, they'll say the new them. And I'd say, well, if I took it to the old you, wouldn't it have been cheaper? And they'll say, yeah, because I was desperate, didn't make as much money. I say, okay, exactly. And then I'd start talking about our company too. I wouldn't really talk about it. I'd ask them, okay, well, how much research did you do on our company before you called me out here today? And they'll say, nothing. So let me ask you, are you just going to take my word for it that the company's good? No? Well, okay, then let's look at the company together. Let's look at when we were founded. Let's look at the reviews. Let's look at the Better Business Bureau. Let's look at that. I'm not going to tell you. Let's look at it. So they look at it with you. And then you ask them, is this the kind of company you want to do business with? Now, having said that, a better company that pays more for their people, from their customer service to everything else, do you think that's going to cost more than a company that's not showing you these things? Yes. Do you believe you get what you pay for? Yes. Okay. What are you going to get in your house? Are you going to pay for getting it done right? Are you going to pay twice because you're going to get it done wrong, and then you're going to have me come back out and repair it? Which way do you want to go? Oh, you want to do it once. Okay, great. And then I'm qualifying them as a customer, and I let them know, look, if you're a person that wants to do it twice or gambling, you're not going to be a good fit for me, for my company, because we're really good at what we do. But I'm wording these all in questions, guys. They're not. I don't have to say anything. The only thing I will say, the company stories. Guys, be careful with the company story. A lot of these company stories are written by corporate offices. Customer doesn't care how long you've been in business. Customer doesn't care about a lot of things that you say or that are taught in training. What they care about is, hey, Jack in the office, he works right here. Listen what he did for a customer. You can tell them that story. You can tell them about your local admin, your uh, your service providers, your subcontractors, and how good they are. Tell them about someone they would know. Hey, Jane's going to call you after I leave and let you know how great, how happy we are you went. If you have any questions whatsoever, you're going to reach out to Jane or me, and let me tell you about Jane. Let me tell you about Jack. Let me tell you about the people in your local office. These are the kind of great people that they hire. These people aren't cheap. They're really good at what they do. You're not dealing with a big box store where you're just a number. These guys really care about this project and you. And I discussed that. Now, what's that doing to them? That's letting them know that I'm not like anybody else. Nobody else is doing this, guys. Trust me, I've been doing this for years. Nobody's doing this. So what's that doing for you guys? That's helping you keep your money average up, right? And you're going to ask closing questions. Is this the kind of company? Would you like Jack or Jill or whoever to help you out with this project? Would you like me to help you out with this project? This is early on I'm asking these questions. These are closing questions. So if everything was affordable to you, is there any reason why you wouldn't go with our company? You need a yes here, guys. You need, yes, I'll go with your company if it's affordable. If I can afford this investment. Okay? But then I ask, well, can you afford to do it the wrong way or do it twice? They'll say, of course not. So really, we're just looking at whether we can afford to move forward with our company. Yes, that's where you're going to go with this. And this is before you're getting into a lot of things. Your needs analysis can be done before or after this conversation. There's a couple different ways to do this, but your needs analysis is where you can go back in. So, sometimes I do it before. It depends on the customer, how many people they've seen, but I always involve them in that process too. But remember, when you're doing a needs analysis, if you don't know what I'm talking about, when you're talking about the problems, whatever the problem is, get them involved with that. If you don't, you're losing out. You're not going to sell. You're definitely not going to hold value. You're just going to drop to the bottom. So these are some of the things, guys. I have so much more to give you. I want you guys to check me out with my course. I have a community there as well. I'm going to put it down in the bottom in the captions. Also, guys, like and subscribe. I'm going to start doing this pretty regularly. I'll try to release 5 days a week, and I'm going to try to have quite a bit of content for you. If you want to further and make more money, join, subscribe, and definitely check out my courses, guys. And look forward to getting to know you guys better. Leave comments, and I'll try to answer those for you. Thank you.